If you're a fan of Lucas Cubs athletics, you have certainly heard the last name Grover a bunch over the last several years, and most especially this year on the hardwood, where the girls' basketball team is the number 6 seed in action tonight, hosting a sectional game. Three Grovers, all members of the team, and we had a chance to catch all of them, that being Jamie, Shelby, and head coach Kathy. I want to go down the line, and we'll begin with Coach first. Tell me your favorite part about being Grover's times three on the floor and then also at home, and then maybe the most challenging part about having three all in one household also playing on the team together.
Um, the most challenging part is to get along and to keep our dirty laundry at home. That's just the way it is. The best part is we'll have stories for a long time to come.
Okay. Shelby, what about you?
The best part is we work very well together. Like we kind of have the same mentality when it comes to basketball. But the worst part is when we don't see something, we both argue because we both think we're right and the other one's just completely wrong. So it's not really a win-win situation with arguing.
But Jesse, probably more often than not, you're the correct one, right? You're the older sister. You have more knowledge.
I like to think that, and I tell her like a lot of times like what she needs to do and everything. And she sees the floor from down below, and I see it from up top. So sometimes when we work together, it's a lot better, and we understand each other's views. But I'm more stubborn, so I always bicker back and try to get her to see how I see it.
Well, speaking of stubborn, one of our OH reporters is joining us now. How about Travis Berardi jumping in on the call?
Thanks for the segue, Brian. Coach, before we get into basketball in this season, just what have you guys put in the water at Lucas with all the athletes that are coming out of the Grover household? Jeb, Jesse, Jamie, Shelby, everybody, really putting up numbers in the household. It's you can compare it, I guess, to the Grosses at Mansfield. Now you have the Grovers coming out of Lucas.
Well, we've always been very competitive. Our backyard used to be a baseball diamond with a backstop. And even before that, we were just always very competitive as a family. Wrestling when the kids were little, on the carpet. So it doesn't surprise me that they are as competitive and as athletic as they are. The youngest one, Bobby, he's going to be the toughest of them all because he doesn't have the size that everybody else has, but he has to grit it out when he has four older siblings fighting against him.
Yeah, and just I guess, with what Jesse has done, Shelby's doing, and Jamie as well on the basketball team, just how great is it to see them on the court, but just to be able to coach them as well?
Well, when you have success like that, you have to consider how long they've been doing this. And we had them at the Madison Youth League and the Ashland Y League when they were in kindergarten. So all those years put together of, fundamentals and learning the game and watching the game, because they have older cousins that they have watched as the years have gone on also. So watching the game as a spectator and then playing it for all those years has really contributed. And of course, knowing the fundamentals is a huge part.
And now coming into this year, last year you made the district run. Buckeye Central, one of the teams that took you out the last couple of years. But coming into this year, 7 players on the roster. And with everything going with COVID, you had a couple players out. Just what was the general message to your squad as you went through this season, a tough season and with the low numbers?
Well, we've tried to tell the girls that we're going to stick it. We're going to take this day by day and stick with it together. We know that everyone is vital, and we know that everyone is important. And we've had some out with injuries. We've had some out for they had to quarantine because they were too close to someone in the classroom. So we really have stuck together as a group because, one, we have no other choice, but also because the girls love the game of basketball and they do love each other as teammates.
You guys still, you played some tough competition. I saw you guys against Clear Fork. You put up a fight with them. just weren't able to follow it. I know you had a player out as well back to that game. You played Ontario tough, but I guess you're still able to get a home game in the sectional tournament despite only having a few players. But just what does it mean to be able to still get a home game in the sectional after what you guys have gone through this year?
Well, it's a testament to how they never quit. They work hard from, the opening tip to the last buzzer. They work well together. We use our speed to our ability. We've out-rebounded some teams that were a lot taller and longer. And we try and take some pride in our pressure defense as well. So all of them working together with those things in mind, that's how we've won the games that we have won. And we're really excited to host tomorrow night.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's been fun to watch your girls play, and I think what's most exciting is the fact that you only got 7 girls on the roster total. That is absurd that you were able to collect the amount of W's that you have and still get to host a sectional game. So as like the senior leader, Jamie, tell me about that process in practice and how challenging has it been to try to get, some 5-on-5 looks when you got 7 kids on the team?
Well, it's a huge change in practice because last year the whole second half of practice every day would go up and down 5v5, and that's how we got in most of our shape, and that's how we learned the plays and new defenses. But now with only 7 and half the season only 6 because of injuries, we can really only do 3-on-3. So it's a lot harder to put in new offenses and new defenses. So we're kind of just sticking to our usual bread and butter, which is man, 55, full court press, and then our motion and a couple offensive sets.
So cardio obviously has to be at the forefront for you girls, right? I mean, all of you have to be pretty darn well conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Describe your game to me, if you would, Jamie. You're a versatile player. You're like a guard/forward. You're a good distributor too. What words would you use to describe your style of play?
Fast. I like the game fast. I like fast breaks, quick offenses, quick shots. I just love defense, and that's the thing I'm best at. So I just like the game going fast so I can get those steals and I can have those open looks and everything. So fast is what I would say.
And Shelby, you're a little bit different style. I would say that you're more of a pure scorer that's kind of always looking for your shot. Do you ever get the ball where you're not thinking about scoring?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'll drive and then just kick out to Jamie at the top for her to shoot the 3. But other times I'll try and do a move down low. That's usually quicker than the other post player to get a quick shot off.
What happens when you and Big Sis go toe-to-toe on the driveway? Who's the better one-on-one player?
We 1v1 before every game, so it depends sometimes what happens.
Well, who's like winning the season series so far right now? Nobody wants to admit.
Well, some days when I can actually make a shot,
She'll win.
But then other days I can't make anything. She's a lot lengthier than I am, so every time I drive, I get swatted or stuff. And she knows all these moves, and she always yells when I foul her.
She definitely fouls me.
No, but it's usually pretty close.
Do you ever have to step in, Kathy, and break it up? Do they go at it pretty hard?
Not before a game, but in practices, yes, I've had to step in before. I can't afford any injuries.
That's right. That's 100% right. Well, hey, even with your 7 players, you have gone on to have a great season so far, and we definitely look forward to seeing you in action tomorrow night in tournament play, and hopefully wishing you a deep tournament run. So, Grovers, thank you so much for joining us here on the What's Report.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
So there's our conversation with all 3 of the Grovers, and my apologies to Jamie for calling her Jessie. She says it happens all the time, though. Just too many Grovers to keep up with, and she said that she likes to play fast, so it's hard to keep up with her, Travis. Those 2 players certainly dynamite, and with the added element of having Mom as coach, pretty lethal 3-way right there. I like it.
Yeah, and you just got to think where this team would be at if Jesse had one more year of eligibility, if the three of them were playing, because you had Shelby break a
True.
school record for points in a game with 40. Jamie broke a school record with 16 assists in a game. And you put Jesse, that might be a 2 or a 3 seed. But, Lucas, I think they have a very winnable game in their sectional home game. They would probably go on to play St. Paul, the 3 seed. It'd be a tougher test for them. But, just being able to play on your home floor for that sectional semifinal is going to be huge for the 6 of them.
Yeah, it's certainly going to help because the 6 of them, like you said, that's it. That's all that the Cubs really have. It's a really small team, and you have an opportunity to catch them tonight on the live stream. Andy Jardy is going to be on the call for the Cub Caves, so make sure that you check them out, going toe-to-toe with Plymouth, see if they can advance to a sectional championship game where, like Travis mentioned, they likely will meet the likes of Norwalk St. Paul.